thank you for tuning in to Checkered Nation. We're going to finish up where we left off at. We have Katy here, the wedding
Hi.
planner, and we're going to go ahead and continue the conversation we were having.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that's
that was my question. Well, my question was, what does that all include in the week of?
The week of, a bride and groom can hire me just for the week of. If you look on Craigslist to see a lot of, we'll handle your day of, that's like throwing a cat into a blender. You don't want to go there, okay? Because you don't know who's been hired for what or anything else. What I do is with the week of, long before the week of, I will contact all the vendors. And they know I'm on board. We will start going through everything to make sure that everything is happening the way it should. Okay. We'll catch problems at that point. And we'll fix those before the bride and groom even know we fixed anything.
Wow.
I love that. Okay, then the week before I'll make an itinerary for the entire weekend because there's rehearsals and rehearsal dinners and all this stuff. We'll make sure that everybody has a copy. Usually the bride does this and she really isn't sure who needs it or what they need or whatever. So I know what they need. It's just like producing a stage show. Here's where you load in, here's what time, here's what door, here's where you park, and my vendors will have everything that they need to know, and we'll have everything laid out as far as what's going on that day. Here's what time we cut the cake, here's what time we do the first dance, the grand presentation, whatever it is, it's all going to go on this list, so we have a good idea of how everything's going to play out. Everybody gets a copy of that. And then also a week before, and I'm one of the few planners that I know that does this, I actually go with boxes and a checklist, and I go to the bride's house. And this is part of the stress relieving exercises. I have several stress relieving exercises, but this is one of. We put everything in a box, and it goes off the checklist. And the second that it gets off the checklist and into that box, she's not allowed to touch it ever again. Mm-hmm. And if I think she's going to play with it, because if she plays with it, then it's going to get forgotten. So rings go in there, license goes in there, even their underwear gets packed.
Wow.
Everything is going to be packed.
Okay.
We're going to pack everything, okay? All the jewelry, everything's going to go in there. The second that it goes away, then she's done. And if I think she's going to play with it, it goes home with me.
Oh, okay.
I love that, yeah.
How do you deal with interference from like the parents, because sometimes they want to get involved too much, and then there's the groom side and the bride side.
Well, if I have really involved parents, I may ask them to again do a list of 2 or 3 things, and we will give them a gimme. Here's the one thing, they can give, here's 3 things we want to see happen that day, and the kids will pick one. Okay. And that'll just kind of help. But the thing to remember is it is their wedding day, and whatever they say goes. I've got a couple right now, rockabilly swing. And you know what? We're going to do rockabilly swing. Mom and Dad may not love it. My daughter got tattoo wings across her back. Did I love it? No. But you know what? That's what she wanted, so she did it.
tell me this. It's like I'm dying to ask you this, and I think we talked about it briefly the other day. Let's talk a little bit about the groomzillas, the bridezillas.
Exactly. When I do my first consult, I tell everybody at about 4 to 8 weeks, sometimes sooner, sometimes later, depends on who it is, but someone in that bridal party is going to become this beautiful creature that no one really recognizes. And we call her bridezilla or groomzilla or momzilla, dadzilla, bridemaidzilla, whatever it is. Someone is going to go insane. It's okay. What that is they've had months, sometimes a year and a half, 2 years, where these poor girls have been poring over magazines and poring over websites and getting advice from their friends and watching all the TV shows and the bridal shows and the 27 dresses and the wedding planner and the father of the bride. And now it's down to the last 4 to 8 weeks. And I was watching Platinum Bride last night and I saw this thing. I just loved it. We have to do that. I have to fix all my plans now. No, 4 to 8 weeks, your contracts are signed. Everything is pretty much done. You are down to just putting bows on things and finishing up and making sure that things are arriving on time.
So there's no changes that could be made in
You can, sure. You can do anything you want to, but do you want to make yourself that crazy?
Right.
That's the whole point. So at that point, I actually watch them turn into this mode. I see it happen. They will start calling me with, I have a stomach ache. Or the guy will call me at 11 o'clock at night going, help, you know, and yeah, seriously.
Really?
Or, yeah, I mean, I will have, yeah, because the bride is like going a little crazy, or he's going crazy and she doesn't know what to do. And that's when I start doing things like taking away their bridal magazines. We have to put them in a box and put them in the closet. You are
Tell
not
me
looking at
this.
them.
Okay, so when you have the soon-to-be grooms calling you at 11 o'clock, is he stressed now because he's freaking out because the wedding day is coming? Okay.
Well, it's because she's freaking out,
Okay.
and he doesn't know how to take care of her.
Okay.
And that's when I come over. If it has to be the middle of the night, it has to be the middle of the night. I'm going to pack all those magazines up. They're going away. Her family starts conspiring with me to sneak behind her, and if she's on a wedding website on the internet, we'll turn off the computer behind her. She's no longer allowed to watch Whose Wedding Is It Anyway, or Platinum Bride, or Father of the Bride, or if it's Donald Duck in a Veil. You're not going to watch it, honey. That's just it. Sorry. And I set those rules out right from the get-go, and we can see it happen, and we take that step away, and suddenly it's better.
But isn't it pretty much normal? That
It's
kind
very
of-
normal.
very
Well,
normal.
figure you've been studying all this for months. Now it's
Yeah.
coming down the wire. Now you're becoming
Exactly.
it's all about being obsessive compulsive. And no one wants to be that, but it just kind of happens. Think
happens.
about, you know, plans that you make for a party or
Yeah.
for, you know, a friend's birthday or something, and that last second push.
Yes.
Wow.
And of course, all the magazines are telling you that you're supposed to be crazy at this
Right.
point, and so therefore it's okay. And no,
What-
Oh,
no.
wow.
What's the most unique wedding you've ever planned?
Unique. Let's see. I've done a Cinderella wedding on a ship. I did. Oh Lord, I did a really beautiful one at Vizcaya in April. We did a little one in May. It was May Day, and it was half Wiccan, half Christian with a maypole.
Oh.
That was kind of fun. That was really neat. Let's see. My kids was redneck. She had the beautiful $1,500 gown and Skechers shoes underneath. And the bridesmaids were all barefoot, and the groomsmen all were wearing Oakley shades. And the second they got up the aisle to the groom, they belly butted him, and then they got in line. And you know, it's all about. It's like I said, the one that I'm doing in February is a rockabilly. So we're going to do zoot suits and period outfits, and they're discussing swing dancing down the aisle. I'm not sure how we're going to do that, but hey, if that's what they want.
So you have some hell stories too, huh?
There's a few, but you know what? It's much more happy stories. The hell stories, I really don't have that many of them, because part of that is I lay the rules down from the very first session. Here is how you will behave. It's against the law for you to get married when you're drunk.
Okay.
So you're not going to be drunk, okay?
Oh,
Parents,
I know
this
that.
is their wedding,
Okay.
so therefore this is what is expected.
Okay.
You put those expectations down right
Okay.
from the get-go, and then everybody knows the rules. Here's how we're going to dress.
Tell me this. I'm curious. You mentioned a $100,000 wedding. What does a $100,000 wedding consist of? I guess it's just anything goes, right?
Anything goes.
It could, well, it depends. I mean, it depends on how much
Okay.
the flowers are, how much the venue is, how much, you know, what food are you looking at. I mean, you can actually have a fairly subdued wedding for $100,000. It just
Okay.
depends on,
What
you know, if you're looking at filet mignon and caviar and, you know, you could go a whole lot of money, and it depends on how many people you're inviting to.
Oh, right, true.
People that you're inviting is going to have a big effect on
Right.
your budget.
Wow.
So think about that as you make your wedding plans. How many people are you willing to feed?
Okay. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for all the information.
Absolutely.
And if anyone plan on getting married anytime in the next couple of years, or you have a friend, a family member, please contact Katy.
It's Adagio Weddings and Events.
And thank you for tuning in to Checkered Nation. Take care.